Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Talking Horses. Anthony Stabile and Andy Serling on a beautiful Saturday, a little crisp, but a nice day. Track completely dried out, no surprise. A little windy overnight. Boy, amazing leaving here. The difference between coming here yesterday and leaving here, it was like you were in two different parts of the world. Anyway, we got 9 and a lot to talk about, so we don't need to kibitz about the idiotic weather. We've got much more interesting things to talk about, like NYRA bets. Head on over, use the promo code MATCH200. We will match for $200 of your initial deposit. Got middle pick 4 today. That'll be race number 3 of our 9-race card. Races 2, 3, and 6 for pick 4s. We also have a 20% exacta bonus. I just opted in on that. Saturdays at Aqueduct. Head on over to NYRA bets and opt in for that one as well. We've got the cross country big 5. Aqueduct race 7. Tampa's 8. Aqueduct 8. Tampa 10. Oaklawn 9, races 8 and 10 at Tampa. We're showing all those races on America's Day at the Races.
That's the Lightning City and the Turf Dash. We got a ticket for that at NYRA Bets, by the way.
They're both turf stakes that we'll be showing. They're sprints. And, of course, the Razorback, the last leg, a very fun race at Oaklawn, said all of them will be shown on America's Day at the Races. All right, race number uno. What'd you do here?
I scratched my head for about 3 hours, and then I picked Laurel Valley.
I'm guessing you didn't spend 3 hours in this race, but I could be wrong.
Yeah. I didn't say I spent 3 hours. I just scratched my head about it, then I made the pick. I just picked Laurel Valley, drop it in for the bottom level. Stallion Series to 40.
She didn't do any running at all last time. She was absolutely pitiful. I only put her third because I couldn't make a case for anybody else in here. But his last race was absolutely pitiful. Maybe he'll win, but he doesn't appear to have any ability. And to me, I thought you wanted a new shooter, and the number 7, Sorpreso, seems to sort of fit that bill. He'd run mostly on the turf here, ran against much better horses in the maiden race. First time out in Saratoga, and then last time out, didn't run well, but it was a sloppy track, didn't run that badly, gets Lasix the first time. I kind of want a new horse, the crew, as this one's dropping down. And Boys Coat as well. I'm 7-4, 4-7 here. Could use either one of them. I couldn't possibly take anybody else in this field. Race number 2. We'll start out by talking about Sheriff Bianco and King Angelo. And you have King Angelo on top, and we'll show that race that they ran in when Sheriff Bianco beat King Angelo 3 back and 2 back for King Angelo.
Yeah, you know, I know he beat him 2 back. I'm hoping that Dylan Davis just takes the initiative here with King Angelo and puts him on the lead.
He really should, because otherwise the 4 Monday morning quarterbacks in front.
Yeah.
And I actually agree with you. They rated here because, and rightfully so, because there was an abundance of speed in the race. But I think that's a very valid point.
It's completely different pace dynamic in here, and it's one that is to King
He's a
Angelo's
very
advantage.
fast horse. I think they were just a little afraid. I think it's a very good point.
I don't blame him for that start.
Yeah.
But now he's supposed to be the aggressor, and he's supposed to be the controlling speed. Is that enough? I don't know.
No,
you and I have
be.
both been a fan of this horse for a while and think he was running on the wrong surface for a long time. I think his PPs corroborate that story for us.
No, the reason this horse was a problem was, as I had pointed out a number of times, he was scratched repeatedly on off-the-turf races. And this is the surface he should have been on his entire career. He ran okay on the turf. He's a better dirt horse. I don't think that's an invalid concept. I do think that Dylan's supposed to be aggressive with him.
And he's going to be a far better price than Nabokov and Sheriff Bianco.
And he's a better horse in the front end. How much bigger, I don't know, but we'll see. Sheriff Bianco has been very, very good, though. I mean, he runs a lot, but he keeps showing up.
Yeah.
And he's a tough horse to knock. And the other thing is, he's not pace compromised. He's not a horse that's going to have a problem.
He can
go and sit wherever he wants. But I don't think you're wrong about the 2. I think it's a valid point. I just think Nabokov might be better than both of these horses. He seems to be improving. We'll take a look at his last race for Chad Brown. I thought his last race was monstrously good because, frankly, Dylan was a little too aggressive in here.
He found himself on the lead, right?
I don't want to knock aggression. I think he just kind of, got aggressive there and ended up setting it up for the other Chad Brown horse, Dr. Ardito, who's running the stake on Monday to run them down. This horse got that mid-race pressure. He fought that pressure off. He came back on. This was a brutal beat for him. And frankly, this is a horse that always probably had some ability. They got a little overzealous with him. And the other thing they did was run him long. He's not a horse that wants to go long.
No.
He's just a better horse in these one-turn races, 6.5, 7, up to a mile. He's okay. I liked him, but this is a competitive race, and I think that's a good point. I had thought the 4 could be interesting, but you're right. The more I look at it, this is the day King Angelo's
You're supposed to go.
Win or lose, he's supposed to lose in the front end.
Lose with your
today.
best weapon.
He's supposed to lose in the front end today, and he might not be good enough, but that's the way you're supposed to ride them. I think it's a very, very good point. Mama's got a run scratched out of the third. I was sorry to see her go. I thought she was a contender. And here we'll start out and we'll show the last half mile of the ladies. You like Falconet. I like Battle Bling.
Yeah, I think she's supposed to be the speed today, right?
She is. She is the speed.
Yeah, she is the speed, right? But they've ridden her the last two starts. They
Well,
haven't
guys
ridden
were
her with the
aggressive,
speed.
but
Yeah.
she's supposed to be in front today.
Yeah, I'm hoping she's in front today. You know, she was able to beat Battle Bling from just off the pace last time when, you know, I think Falconet's probably a better filly when she is on the front end, and she's supposed to have her way with things on the front end today. And, you know, she beat Battle Bling when she was off the pace last time, and she was able to beat her from off the pace. And Battle Bling didn't have the cleanest of trips last time.
I think Battle Bling was compromised in this race so that she got shuffled back during a key point in the race and actually ran very, very well. Whether or not she's better than Falconet, I don't know. But I think it's very, very close. And at a better price, I prefer Battle Bling.
Okay.
But you're not wrong. The 5's supposed to have the run of the race, but I think that Dylan will have to get the 2 in the race. I mean, the real question in the race is whether or not you think Frost Point is good enough to beat either or both of the top 2.
Mm-hmm.
I know she won easily. We'll show the last race. Timeless Journey was very lucky to win her next start because Mama's Got to Run was an hour the best in that race. I'm not saying she can't win, but you're asking her as a 5-year-old to suddenly step it up. And I know it seems like all these Bill Mott horses are running great, which they are. And she also got a perfect trip. What a ride and trip she got in here.
Yeah, Jose gave her
I'm
a
just
brilliant
not
ride
sure
last time.
where is the fast race
There
for
aren't,
her.
and she spent, and this is a rarity for Mott horses based here. He doesn't ship these horses out of here much, but she spent the bulk of her career off the circuit as opposed to here. So, you know, it's kind of been a hunt and peck for him to go and try
Well,
and
the
find
beginning of her
spots for
career.
her. Yeah, well, yeah.
And 3 of her last 4 races have
Three
been.
of, yeah, yep, and those are the only 3 she spent here. I don't know. Maybe she's getting good now with a little maturity.
But
She
she's
hasn't
got to
run
improve
much.
to beat these
It's only her
horses.
10th start in her 5-year-old season. Yeah, she does have to improve. No question about it.
But we'll see. We'll see if she can get it done. That's the Heavenly Prize. Of course, Heavenly Prize, a terrific Phipps filly that raced here.
Never missed the board.
What was her last career start? Wow. I just won Stump Stabile.
No, hold on.
No, I won
Did
because
she
you didn't
run
get
in
it
the
right away.
Don?
Correct.
She ran behind Cigar, Peaks and Valleys,
No.
with Kaiva Springs. Knew it was one of those other models.
I was there. It was her last career start.
Yeah.
I was there. That was right before Cigar went to Dubai.
The first World Cup.
I remember sitting in the press box in the old veranda in the good old days when Gulfstream was Gulfstream, and they had a great press box, and they had the veranda in the press
Never
box.
been- I was never at the old
One of the
Gulfstream.
greatest places to watch races you could find. Race number 4, which kicks off the pick 6, no carryover. We both picked Cinderella's Cause. How about it?
Just dropping down off the, just the last 2 fields she ran against. She did not belong, and now she's back in a spot where she does, and she's running against some fillies that, boy, the good form recently especially is kind of at a premium in here. Left Leaning Lucy had a good race
Well,
last
we'll
time.
show Left Leaning Lucy's race. I can't believe it. You didn't pick Rob Atras off the claim?
Andy, that was such a bad field last time.
You're not getting an argument from
I know
me.
it's first time Rob, but this filly's race is the horse we picked. When she runs where she belongs, she just dominates. And I just felt like she was
I
kind
agree.
of
She's
in
been
that
running
spot.
against much better horses. She actually ran well 2 back, Cinderella's Cause. That race completely fell apart. There was nothing wrong with that effort at all. She runs that race. She's probably going to win. She's better than these. And I agree about Left Leaning Lucy. We'll see if Rob can improve her on Dave Donk because I'm a little skeptical. Touch it a perfect trip. The weird horse in here is, you want to pronounce that?
Nervoso. That's who I picked. I picked her. I put her second. First time Jimmy Ferraro
show her last
from
race.
a barn that, wins prolifically down in the
That's the problem.
Mid-Atlantic.
That's
Yeah,
the
of course
problem.
it's the problem.
The problem with this horse is the barn it comes out of. Nothing
Yeah.
against Jimmy at all.
No.
But same trainer. Now, to be fair, it's the same trainer. So are we really sure that Jimmy's training this horse, or is it possible that
We are
Tony
not-
Gonzalez
we are
doesn't
not
pay,
sure.
doesn't pay workman's comp?
We are
and the
not
horse is,
sure.
up
Correct.
here, we're not in any way suggesting anything wrong with it.
Correct.
It happens all the time. This horse is probably running pretty much
Horse
in
did
Jimmy's
not.
name.
Horse did not work.
So this is
in
not
New
a
York.
trainer
Horse comes in
change,
off
right.
the last work at Laurel. Correct.
She's a little on
You
the
just-
cheaper side.
She is, but you know what? She's on the cheaper side, but she's a fresh face in a field of horses that are probably on the wrong side of the mountain.
I don't know. I don't like her.
Okay.
I hear you. I get it. I get the appeal of the new face. It's always appealing. I thought Chase and Bryn. I mean, listen, Chase and Bryn, she can go one or two ways. Her career, she could be deceased. Manny Franco rides her. You got Mania Rider off the
Yeah,
claim,
I
and she's got
guess.
race that can beat these. I put her second because I didn't want anybody else. But obviously, her last race is a big question mark.
Yep.
Race number 5. Is it Derwin's painter or Darwin's painter on the inside?
Derwin's.
Okay, I know. It was a joke.
I know.
Okay. What did you do here?
I'm well aware. I went to Katie Cakes, who I've been preaching that Rob needs to stretch out for since the debut.
Rob, if you entered this horse going long because this nitwit told you to
didn't,
stretch
he
her out,
didn't, he didn't.
you and I are going to have a
He
talk later. I'm
didn't,
just
he
letting you know
didn't.
right now.
But if you
Seriously, and
watch
he
her-
knows.
if you
Rob knew
watch-
when you said that. Rob knew he was about to get a tongue
If
lashing
you
as soon
watch
as
her
you said
3
that.
races and you think she doesn't want to go long,
I don't.
Oh,
She didn't finish in any of them.
okay.
She-
All right.
I mean, listen, she might outslow these to the wire, but there's nothing about a race that suggests she wants to go
Have
long.
you used
But I
that?
didn't want to ask you
Hey,
something. By
have
the way,
you used that?
oh wait, I took a terrible beat yesterday.
Can I ask you that
Blue
question?
Paint couldn't hold on for second. I guess she didn't want the mile. Would you stop it?
Did you use outslowed yet? Is that the first time you've ever used it? That was pretty
Probably
good.
not. You've never heard me use the term outslowed?
No.
How many horses do we bet every all the time?
Well, we get
They're
outslowed
opening
all the time, buddy.
Outslow. I know Rob didn't. I know Rob. Rob's already ready for me on this one. I thought her last race was awful. That's my problem.
The track got speedy
Nah,
that day.
baloney. She made it. She
Come
got
on,
no, baloney. That's a very, very misleading comment because she got passed from behind. She got passed from behind in the stretch. That's why I don't think she wants to go long, and that's why I don't like her last race. Now, I'm not saying she can't win. I picked her third, but her last race is
You picked her
atrocious.
third in here?
Why would I like her?
Wow.
Well, you're acting like she's
I
second.
mean, I put the fuzzy
I'm sorry,
second. You put the right fuzzy. I mean,
it's
if, you,
not the-
if you don't like it, you put the right
It's
fuzzy
not the
on
dumbest
top.
comment. It's the second dumbest comment. The dumbest comment of today I saw on Twitter was, is Hoosier Philly as good as Rachel Alexandra?
I have a friend that is obsessed with this filly.
Good
that
luck.
bet on her in the future. Did you see how much money
Tell
she
him
took?
if he didn't get enough. If he didn't get enough at 7-1 in the Derby, he can get 8-1 for up to 10,000 from me.
Did you see how much money this horse took in the future?
It's the most dumbest thing in the world. She's not even 7-1 to run the race. She's probably
Right.
closer to
She's
40.
50 to 1 to run in the race,
Exactly.
right? Crazy.
Anyway, I love Tom. I hope he does well with her.
Yeah, me too.
I
Of
think it's the
course.
most ridiculous
Always root
hype
for our
I've heard in
friends
a
and our
horse
colleagues.
in a long, long time. I didn't see this horse. I thought her last race was atrocious. But let me ask a question. What's wrong with Amanda's Folly? What's wrong with her race 2 back? I mean, I'm more confident that she wants to go the mile. And you want to say the wet track
If you're
last
going to
time?
attribute the last race to the wet track, that's fine. But off of the race 2 back, Rudy dropped her in for the quarter. She got beat 15 lengths.
But she goes to Carlos. Carlos must not like
about-
this one.
I
today.
don't know what's going on
Carlos,
with
you didn't
these-
give Anthony
with-
the info?
I don't know what's going on with these. This barn has claimed at least 2, maybe 3 off of, and it's not just Carlos. It's
Is
the
it-
owner-trainer
is it-
combination. I don't
Are
know
you
what's going on.
allowed to name your stable Hammer Time if you're not MC Hammer?
MC Hammer ran under. What did he run under just his name?
No.
No, he ran.
Oak something.
Yes.
Oak
Oh man.
something.
Jude Feld, if you're watching, you will remember this.
He's the one who was involved with that tweet. Oak something. There will never be a more memorable racetrack
That was the
moment
best.
than the Hammer on CCA Oaks Day. And it
On
wasn't
Oaks?
just
Oh, yeah.
the whole performance after the race, which is on YouTube, we've talked about. It was seeing him at the track, signing autographs for kids, going
Mother
across
Goose
the
Day
street.
too. Mother Goose Day was a
Oh,
pretty
I know,
good
but the
spectacle, too.
CCA Oaks
I
was
wasn't there for that.
after the race, going to the press box and saying, "Where's Pasica?" There was some great moments. You know that?
No.
Yeah, because he hated Light. The Hammer and Pasica should act, and Kurt should actually have like a show.
Reality show?
Yeah, I
or
mean,
like a 30-minute podcast.
Kurt and the Hammer. I mean, that's a show
That's
that,
fantastic.
that
I didn't
the
know
world
about that.
the world is waiting
He went
for.
to the press box for
How
him?
nobody has thought. What?
He
Yeah.
went to the press box for him? I did not know
There
that.
was like a press conference or something. He went up and he said, "Where's Pasica?" He yelled. Yeah, you know this?
No.
Yeah.
That's great.
And if you
the
know
real
Kurt Pasica,
WWE stuff.
one of the truly great legends
Yes.
of New York racing. Anyway, Queen Pin. I found a stat. Did I send it? I did. Look at this stat for Queen Pin. I know this is pretty random.
That's why I put the source second,
Maiden
Andy.
special to maiden claim. Yeah, you've looked up a stat in a former life. Maiden special, maiden claimer, New York breds in the dirt. 4 for 8, 7 of them hitting the board. I'm in.
I mean, the one thing that bothers me about I put her second.
Nothing bothers me about this horse.
The only thing that bothered me was the fact that she's not taking a dime of money in her first 2
Nothing
starts.
bothers me about this
All
horse.
right.
She's dropping down against this field.
Yeah.
I'm not bothered by anything. I lose my
right.
money all the time. I might as well lose my money on her.
Yeah, I mean, you're hard pressed to try to make a case
Speaking of trainer stats,
for anybody else. You got another one here?
I saw an interview where a trainer thought that trainer stats are bad for the game. hint to trainers out there. You might think it. Don't say it. That's 5, the late pick 4, after a quick break.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.
Hi, we're back.
Hola.
We missed you. I don't know if you missed us, but we missed you.
They did.
So, nobody's picking Breadman here. We got him 4th. Let's show Breadman. No respect for Breadman. Randy Persaud's numbers off of wins are off the charts bad. And you probably didn't like the switch from Javier to Castillo.
I didn't like the voided claim, the fact that the guy that drops his horses in like he's at Yonkers hasn't run this horse in 2 months. That's what I didn't like.
Yeah, there's a lot not to like. I'm with you. But he
When you
runs
know-
this race. He runs this race.
He'll win.
This field's in trouble.
When you see
Well,
a
he'll
Randy,
win, but this field's
when
in
you
trouble.
see the only thing that scares me more than a Randy Persaud layoff line is a line at the buffet. That's the only line that scares me more.
My guess is that the people in the buffet line should be scared of
Yeah,
you come
exactly.
rolling
You're not
through.
kidding. Not as much
so,
as they used to be.
don't be late. Is this like you once a month you have to pick a Heman Harkey horse?
I'm just hoping. I mean, this horse is supposed to get in front of these horses, right? And that might not be enough, but I also
you
feel.
think
Hold
that
on.
Manny's going to let him go?
You know, Andy, I don't know what to do with this horse.
We'll show Jay Stalker's win too bad.
Don't you feel like this horse is just kind of after the first race? Where's his speed gone? It's like it doesn't exist
But
anymore.
I think Manny's going to be aggressive with him too.
Listen, that you want to talk about bad maiden
It's not
races?
like don't be late is exactly.
I'm not saying you're
he's not
100%
groovy.
right. You're 100% right. But you want to talk about bad maiden races? That race that Jay Stalker won is up there.
Jay Stalker was
in the
lucky to win
annals.
this race. He only won this race because Cancel went on a mission against Bourbon's Hope. If Cancel, and I'm not knocking Eric, he did what he thought was best for his horse, but he went on a mission against the horse and he softened him up, and Jay Stalker got lucky. Having said that, I'm not a fan of this horse. I've got him 3rd. But
So do I.
he also
Yeah.
ran against Tougher. He is dropping back to a level he belongs in. And I'm sorry. I mean, listen, I'm not going to knock anyone here. You want to bet the 8 to 9 to price? Go for it. I don't love anybody.
I'm not losing.
I
I'm
pick a
certainly not-
ridiculous horse in here, so I'm in no position to knock ridiculous horses.
I'm certainly not leaning on anybody in here. I'm using in our pick 5. I'm using 5 horses.
Well, Sinan
my
is-
4 on the screen and your horse.
Sinan is a problematic horse. Is it Sinan? Is that how you pronounce it?
I think it's Seanan, but I don't know.
I'm trying not to say Sean. He called me yesterday.
Is that the first time in 70?
I'm
in
thinking
60
I was a
in
little
50
late
years?
getting home. There were some problems in there. I'm thinking there was a call in there somewhere.
You just
and
missed it in the subway.
he's incredible. Not as he usually call me the second I walk in my apartment. But now when I'm home, he calls me when my dinner. When as soon as the dinner starts, I get a call from him. He's going away. He's leaving me. While I be visiting. I don't like the claim and drop down.
Now, so I don't either. I put him second. You put him second.
He can win, but
The only thing I'll say is this. Yeah, you don't like the claim and the drop down. I don't either.
bad
But this horse has been at this level before up at Finger
But
Lakes.
he
So
shouldn't have claimed for 25 then.
listen, this is what happens.
Well,
This is what happens.
it's just, I mean, he's trying to get out from a bad claim and hoping
Yeah.
somebody takes him. I'm not convinced anybody's going to take this horse.
What
What do you do with this horse if he wins this race? What do you do if he wins this race? Go to Opens?
He's probably hoping one of the Finger Lakes guys takes the horse.
Can you
Takes him back
believe
to Finger
somebody
Lakes.
claimed the Pletcher horse that won the first race yesterday? Where's
I
that?
knew 2 people interested, so I'm wondering if it was one of them.
Well, here's the problem.
He lost his friend yesterday.
You don't want him if he wins.
You don't
Because now
you
he
could,
can't.
You could
don't
put
want
the
him if he
period.
wins
Don't
because
want him.
now he can't run in a maiden race again, and you don't want him if he loses because he couldn't beat that field. One more score. It's probably a terrible pick, but this horse is second off a layoff, has a race at Parks 3 back that'll beat this field. want to give the horse a chance, was running against much better horses last time,
Yeah.
drops down in a race where I don't like anybody, so I didn't need much reason. I spent a lot of time searching this race for who to pick, and I found this horse because I could make a little bit of a case for him.
He's run against so much better
Right.
on the circuit, but he's done such
But he may not be able to
running
run
in either race.
He may not be able to run. The 7th race is an unusual maiden race for Aqueduct, and I like the fact that we've seen Mott and Todd Pletcher shipping horses up from Florida.
Christoph sent the one horse up.
Oh, that was very generous of him. David Duggan gets to keep those horses, right? Can't Buy Me Love. I mean, I can't. They shouldn't give those back to Christoph when he comes back.
I don't know how it works, buddy.
Guy doesn't want to be here in the winter.
My business.
I'm just trying to.
You're just trying to stir it up. That's what you're trying
I'm
to
just
do.
trying to be fair.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be fair to the little guy.
All
I'm
of
just
a
trying to be
sudden-
fair to the little guy. You know
All
me.
of a sudden,
Suddenly,
yeah.
I'm a little guy. By the way, I'm going to say there was only one cinch on
The
this car.
righteous Andy
There was only
Serling.
one cinch on this car. And there were 2 cinches. One of them was not as big a cinch. The biggest cinch in the car is that you would pick Lee's horse, Foxburg.
course.
That was off the table a joke. The second biggest one, that was Lee would at some point tell me that Register is a half to High Oak,
High
who,
Oak.
by the way, in case you haven't gotten the emails, he's returning very, very, very soon. Don't say it. I know when he's returning very soon, hoping to get to the Carter. Not running here, but coming. I'm excited for High Oak and Lee.
I politics. What I'm doing.
So you picked Lee's horse because he's your friend. Other than
No,
that,
I
is there
picked
some
these horses
reason to
because
like him?
I'm.
It's a good tip
Right
for
away.
some.
Here we go with the friend thing again.
Oh, that's why you picked him. You know it, and I know it. He's my friend too.
Listen to me. I was given a story about this.
Yeah,
horse
I know. It's a good story.
From Payson.
He lost by
Before I-
75 and a half lengths.
Yes, well,
I had it 75 and a
you know
quarter.
I like my
I had it
stories.
75 and a quarter. I thought it was a little
You know
exaggerated.
I like my stories. So now he gets the blinkers. We'll give him one more chance. It's a wide open race. This is another race where it's a spread job.
I got him third. But, what do you do with Register
I don't
here?
know what you do with Register.
I mean, this is a
put him
fast race.
third.
We'll show the race.
I put him
but
third.
He's a half High Oak. Is that a big, do you think he'll see the LRE silks in the paddock and get all excited? And,
gravitate over?
Yeah, just go over and say hi and maybe talk to Lee and maybe ask why he didn't buy him. I don't know what to do with this horse, but he can win.
There was a big improvement in just 22 days from this horse's first 2
Gotta
races.
get a mile. Well, his first race isn't that bad.
I said, but there was big improvement. He ran a big second race in just a little over 3 weeks. It was a big effort. Down inside, you know what I mean? It was a good effort.
He's going to get a little ignored in
He's
here
got
for
a
a horse
stretch.
that has
He's
the
gonna
biggest
get
fig.
Well, he's 7-2 morning. David
He's not going to be
short.
7-2.
Right. Well,
I don't think David's right.
Okay.
I feel like, and I'm not knocking Katie, I think Katie rides fine, but I think people are going to see Katie Davis in this horse. They're going to look at this field, and you got Shippers, you got Todd coming in. What do you think about There Be Dragons with Romero Mirage?
Didn't know what to do with this horse.
I mean,
This horse ran.
once again, not knocking Romero, but that's an odd rider choice. Maybe he came up, he wanted to run, he couldn't get a rider. This last race wasn't bad.
No.
Groveland was second to Sam Davis,
Yep.
but to be fair, the Sam Davis was one of the biggest eyesores of a triple
Very
triple crown prep
slow
ever
race.
run.
Yeah, slow race. Gets Lasix for the first time as a 3-year-old. This is almost 2 months. That race was on Christmas Eve. This is almost 2 months later now. This is a horse that's 5
Legit
weeks.
field, though, relatively
yeah, 5
speaking.
weeks between his first 2 starts. Now another almost 2 months between his second and third starts. Gets the Lasix, cuts back to the 1 turn.
Okay, so how is it you have Power and Numbers second and Ride Up nowhere?
How was it I have power? Well, we only.
I guess it was you picked Lee over Seth. No, that's good. It's good to know.
I mean, I would imagine.
Imagine what?
I liked Power and Numbers race. I thought he looked like a horse that was going to need some more ground. He probably
He
looked
did?
Like I thought he was a horse. that
He's
looked
going
like-
backwards to the last furlong, but okay.
I thought he was a horse that was going to benefit from his first.
Like
start,
blue
too.
paint, he would go more distance.
You just leave me
No,
alone.
no, I'm going to
please.
torture you with that. If he handled the mile, I would have gotten exacta. Cost me a lot of money. I think Ride Up is much more likely to win this race than Power and Numbers
Okay.
is. Between the 2 races, Power and Numbers at a pretty soft trip, stayed in the rail, angled out. He ran fine. He's probably okay. They liked him first time, obviously better. But Ride Up was a horse that really ran well. He broke a length and a half slow in the race. He just sort of lost contact, kind of. And he was flying towards the end of the race. He ran like a typical Linda Rice horse that needed the first start. And I like Ride Up out of that race. But I can tell you, this is a very tough race. And I should mention that McCullough, though he's not much horse, was named for Paul McCullough. And for those of you that went to 15 Church back in the day, when Paul ran it, you probably didn't know Paul. He was one
I
of
did
the
not.
world's good guys, and loved the game as well. He passed away around the Preakness last year, and Bill Lawrence named this. You know, it's funny. I was talking to Chad about it, and Chad said when they named this horse much earlier, The horse was training like a really good horse because everybody loved Paul, and he was really a wonderful guy. And then Paul, Chad said, unfortunately, the horse turned out to not be that good.
I would want to bet this horse on a cutback. He looks like a horse that would probably.
I want to bet him when he's running for a quarter.
Okay.
But let's see. Do we have anybody else out?
No, I don't think so. It's a fun race, though.
No,
Fun maiden race.
Asmodeus, Egypt. This is a fun race. This might be about as good a maiden race for this time of the year for this group I've ever seen.
This is usually the barren time of the year up here. This is a great maiden race.
And there's a lot of horses that can win that race. Race number was that?
8. That comes at the same.
I like a horse in the 8th.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Finally.
I smoked. Wait a second. Finally, I picked him when he broke his maiden. You didn't even pick him that day. You did not pick him the day he broke his maiden. Fact.
I picked my man Matty. Yeah.
Fact.
You're right.
You did not pick
buddy.
him.
You're right.
Calm
down.
We'll take a look at today's flavor. I'll say one thing on today's flavor. He's not the most dressed up horse in the country because I'm guessing there's somebody else, but he's verging on it. He got a gold rail last time. This horse has been extraordinarily fortunate, and it has definitely created a set of PPs that are a little bit dishonest. The problem is, unless he doesn't get out of the gate, who's going to run with him early in this race?
Unless the prize boss is just on a dead mission to try to get a race under his belt on the dirt before turf season starts. And even then, he'd have to be on the deadest of sends in the history of dead sends. He's gone.
Yeah, I wanted to make a case against him. I honestly did. And I do think the 12th man's going to run well in this race, third off the layoff. Thought he ran fine, 2 back, a little bit of a step back last time, but I'm hoping the third start. And I thought about picking him. I don't.
He has such a decided advantage.
I know. This horse, I don't think that today's flavor is near as good as he looks on paper, but he's still pretty good, and he has another big advantage in this race. I'm going to use the 3.
We don't run the Holly Hughes anymore. He would have been one of the favorites in the Holly Hughes on Monday.
It's a good thing we didn't run it because we had a lot of stretching to do to fill that field for the Haynes field.
Well, I'm just saying.
So we're not running the Holly Hughes. Why not the Holly Hughes and not the Haynes field?
I don't know.
I
guess they feel like there's more horses that'll go.
Did Cacciatrea win the Holly Hughes?
Wow.
I had
Bazua?
I had a ton of love for Cacciatrea.
Wow.
John Hurtler and Bazua.
Hurtler
Anybody
and,
hear from John Hurtler?
No.
Yeah, let's know how he's doing. Good man. I think Bazua rode him some, right?
Bazua won the Stallion Series race in '96 with him paid $1 zillion. Fall of '96.
Did he win the True North once? Or ran? I know he ran the True North.
He made a big price. That sounds right
Maybe
too.
Was second or something.
Yeah.
So the 10th race is a pretty
Ninth
fun
race?
race,
We
or
don't have
ninth
the 10th.
race. I'm sorry, with the scratch of Colloquy, who's running tomorrow. So if you're excited about Colloquy, you can see him tomorrow. By the way, easier spot for him tomorrow, actually. Less competitive spot. So Callaloo, because I knew Anthony would pick Callaloo on top, will be our leadoff video, and you can talk about him.
Yeah, there's 2 races with the blinkers. There's been a ton of improvement. Came back in just 6 days to get out of the maiden ranks last
First
time.
ran extremely well in his debut, so
Yeah,
I'm
well,
not
just
sure
the
you're
good
right about that.
football.
But I mean, I know the figures are better, but this horse ran very well with a crazy trip first time out.
Yeah, he's run well in
Good
almost
horse.
all of his starts. He had a issue before the race, 3 starts back, and then his last 2 races have just been
This was off a week
kind of
layoff,
lights
too.
out. Yeah, 6 days.
Yeah.
So he's out. He's drawn outside.
It's
should-
not 6. It was 7. It's the 19th. You
Oh,
wrote
I'm
through
sorry.
it. Reason I remember, Dave Donk, just little point of fact, don't like to beat up on Dave, but his numbers off Maine was not good. I had thought it was the 18th too, and when I checked,
No,
and I was
my eyes
saying,
just- my eyes deceived me
I had
just
written a
now.
line through the 9, so I couldn't quite see it, and I always check. I try to check the formulator to make sure I got it right, and it was the 19th, and I thought, oh, it was 7, not 6 days. So I remember
Did
that.
those numbers just change? Am I losing my mind?
I don't know.
Wow.
I had to take the earpiece out. It was somebody screaming in my ear.
Okay.
I think he can win. I don't want to take him off that race, but he could just be the best horse in this race. I don't have a big issue.
He kind of sneaks into this race by running for a quarter first.
I don't have a big issue with that horse at all. And I didn't want to pick the 5, All About the Money, who will probably be favored in here. Thought the horse ran fine last time. Ikagai was allowed to walk on the lead around here. I know it so rarely happens, but one out of every 1 race, a horse walks on the front end.
That was Andy being snarky, everybody.
Comes back in 7 days off that race. But Jacobson's horse come back fast. And this horse is supposed to be as good, if not more efficient, going longer.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just seems like a logical horse.
Yep. He made his hay out in California going longer. And
But also has 5 seconds and 2 wins.
he just doesn't. Right.
So that's
5
that-
seconds and 3/3 and only 2 wins.
Be,
So,
yeah, that's a bit of a
He
problem.
likes to round out tries and exactas and tries. And
So I had the race 2, 5, 10, 11. 10 I knew was scratching.
Yep.
So I took the one with the biggest price. And the biggest price is big Venezuela. Guys, what are you doing? Now
That's what I saw. That's what happened.
you see what you did? You gave him cover. It's the most annoying thing you did. You gave him cover.
I knew. I thought I was losing my mind.
Well, you are losing your mind, but that's a different story. This has been Venezuela's race last time out, finishing second to Drink the Wind. Drink the Wind, who I picked this day, but sometimes you pick a horse and you unwittingly fall into a they knew. You know what I mean? You like some horse and think, the horse is about 5-2, and the horse is like
9-5
bet
that
off
day.
the board. This
Yeah.
horse was bet
Told
from
you he
the
was gonna be a
get-go.
favorite
This
that
horse
day. It was one of the ones I was
yeah.
right. It was one of the 400 I was right about.
Yeah.
1 in 400 I was finally right. They bet this horse like he was in a like
That's
he was
okay.
cooled out already.
You actually, somebody else on television got you off the hook with the Rudy horse in the last race. I'm not going to harp on it, but somebody said something worse than you on that horse.
The firster?
The firster.
Yes, sir.
2-1 that horse. Took all the late money. Ran
He
well.
was favored in the.
That was get claimed?
multis. Don't know.
Because I got a feeling that was the plan. If I'm Huayas, Jason Huayas,
Go. Yeah. I thought the race would line up 2-11. That's
don't-
why I picked him. I
don't
picked him
get
1-2.
into that habit of rating horses around here because other guys do it. Just go. He's the speed.
I think the race lines up 2-11.
Run well in his last 2 starts. I got him on top. Okay. That's it. Another fun edition of Talking Horses in the garbage can. You know, they asked Jerry Garcia once about why the Dead were okay with so many people taping their shows. And Jerry said, when we're done with it, they can have it. We're done with it, you can have it.
You can have it.
Feel free to chop it up, you know, take our things out of context, whatever makes you happy. You know what makes Anthony happy? You going to Naira Bets if you haven't been
Keep
there.
me employed,
That's
please.
what, yes, keep Anthony employed 200.
Or
match 200.
Match 200 is the
Either one.
abbreviation
Either
for
one.
it.
Either one. Doesn't really matter. Less letters. Middle pickle 4, races 2, 3, and 6.
Hey, go for a pickle.
For pick 4s. We have the 20% exacta bonus, which I have signed up for. I'm very excited about that. I forgot last week, and it cost me money. At least I won.
Cross Country Pick 5 tickets up over at Naira Bets.
All those races will be shown on America's Day at the Races, which coincidentally will be on from 12:30 to 6:30, covering all the action from Oaklawn, Aqueduct, and races 8 and 10.
I'm on the first half, and I'll be
Tampa.
handing it off to you.
That's
What
really
kind of pickle
thrilling.
do you like? What's the? I like the lighter green. I don't know what that's called.
No, I don't. They're okay. I
Like
don't
the
have,
lighter green
I haven't spent a lot of time thinking about it, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan.
I'm going to
of
go.
lighter
Anthony's going to think about
green. I'm
pickles.
gonna go find
I'm
a
gonna
pickle.
go.
I'll get myself in a pickle.
Have a great day. Chris Griffin, be up next. The reprise, scratch and changes. Good luck.
For almost 150 years, the Saratoga name has been synonymous with the finest quality, sustainably sourced spring water available anywhere. Saratoga carries on the rich tradition of its forefathers by crafting each stunning blue glass bottle with the same attention to detail and care that has been its hallmark for generations. Visit SaratogaSpringwater.com today or ask for us by name at your local market or restaurant. Saratoga Spring Water. Make every day exquisite.